Today, we are very, very honored to also begin with Malkah Regina's poem, The Prayer. They will be reading it in English and Hebrew, and I will be reading it in Arabic for you. Thank you again to everyone who's here.
Welcome, everyone. Today is a minor fast day in the Jewish calendar, the 17th of Tammuz, and it's a day that we remember when, after a long siege of Jerusalem, the walls were breached by the Romans, and then 3 weeks later, the temple was destroyed. And in Jewish tradition, these fast days are called as a time of really there's been a breach in the connection with the divine, and it's a time of reconnecting and of really opening our hearts in prayer. So I wanted to begin with a traditional prayer for a fast day. I'll put it up, and I'm going to um, chant a line in the Hebrew, and then maybe, do we have someone who would like to be our English reader? Joanna, would you be our English reader? Are you? And then May will translate.
Where? What am I? Oh, okay. Excuse me.
Shema kolenu, ya Eloheinu.
Hear our voice, dear one, our God.
اسمع صوتنا يا أيها الإله إلهنا الحبيب.
Chus v'rachem aleinu.
Spare us and have compassion on us.
انصت لرجائنا خفف عنا وارأف بنا.
V'kabel berachamim uvratzon et tefillatenu.
And accept our prayers compassionately and willingly.
وتقبل دعاءنا بلطف ورضا.
Ki el shomea tefillot v'tachanunim ata.
For you are one who hears prayers and supplications.
فأنت يا من تسمع أنين القلب وهمس الأرواح.
Umilfanecha malkeinu rekam al teshivenu.
Do not turn us away empty-handed from your presence, our sovereign.
ولا تردنا من حضرتك خائبي الأمل يا وجه النور يا ملك الحضور.
Anenu ya anenu, anenu ya anenu, anenu ya anenu.
Answer us, breath of life, answer us.
استجب لنا يا نفس الحياة استجب.
Beyom tzom ta'anitenu.
On this day of our fasting,
في هذا اليوم الذي نصوم فيه.
Ki v'tzara gedola anachnu.
for we are in great trouble.
حيث الضيق يحاصرنا والوجع لا يهدأ.
Al tefein al rish'enu.
Do not regard our wickedness.
لا نملك إلاك.
Ve'al taster panecha mimenu.
Do not conceal your face from us.
لا ترد وجهك عنا.
ואל תתעלה מתחינתנו.
And do not hide yourself from our pleas.
ولا تفرض نفسك عن رجائنا.
היה נא קרוב לשוועתנו.
Please be near to our cry.
كن قريب في شدائدنا.
יהי נא חסדך לנחמנו.
Let your loving kindness console us.
دع رحمتك توسعنا.
טרם נקרא אליך עננו.
Even before we call unto you, answer us.
حتى قبل أن نصلي استجب لنا.
כדבר שנאמר, והיה טרם יקראו ואני אענה, עוד הם מדברים ואני אשמע.
As we read in Isaiah 65:24, and it shall come to pass that before they call, I will answer. While they are yet speaking, I will hear.
كما ورد في أشعياء قبل أن يدعوني أجيب وفيما هم بعد يتكلمون أسمع. يا من تجيب في زمن الضيق وتفك الكرب وتنقذ في شدائد الأيام.
כי אתה הוויה העונה בעת צרה.
For you are the one who answers in time of trouble.
أنت السمع لصلواتنا.
הודה ומציל בכל עת צרה וצוקה.
Who redeems and rescues in times of trouble and distress.
כי אותה,
صلوات كل من يصارع في قلبه المتوجعين.
כי אתה שומע תפילת עמך ישראל ברחמים.
You hear our prayers, the prayers of all God-wrestling people with compassion.
تسمع صلواتنا برحمة وتحتضنها بواسع صدرك.
ברוך אתה אדוני שומע תפילה.
Blessed is Yah, the breath of life, receiving our prayers.
مبارك أنت يا نفس الحياة يا أيها المجيب. Thank you.
Let's just take a breath, allowing that prayer to vibrate through our consciousness and hearts. Thank you so much for bringing these words and the depth of the soul that speaks through them. And for me, Satyam is exactly this prayer. Mhm. It is often in those dark times where the most powerful prayers are originating, where we turn towards God and life itself with our hearts, with our souls, with our bodies, when the mind doesn't know anymore, but the heart must guide. And it very much feels like that Satyam in these seemingly catastrophic and such dark times of what we have created as humans here in this land and on this planet, it is an antidote, it is a prayer. It holds the seed beyond the mind having hope or belief or understanding. It's the turning towards the right thing, towards the light. Knowing that only coming home to that place in our souls and our hearts and aligning with it will give us the strength to continue. Fully given. So when we opened Satyam 1.5 years ago, it was exactly that. In this dark time of increasing, unbearable violence to witness, we said we need to come closer. We need to come closer again. We need to open space to come closer together and join the forces of our heart and our belief to generate an antidote for each one of us, but also for our lives and for our planet. A fire where we can come home and remember who we are and strengthen each other to keep walking into the dark, knowing where we're going, not knowing when we will reach, but just knowing the direction. So since 1.5 years, we've been holding this community center, inviting spaces for grief, for healing, for listening, for Israelis, Palestinian internationals, everyone who dares to come, who dares to break the inner walls and barriers, to meet one's own shadows and fears and grief and anger and pain and trauma, and to hold each other through that, to find that place beyond right and wrong, beyond picking sides, to stand for all of life, to hold the dignity of all life equally, each child equally, say no to violence, whoever commits it, and attempting to show the world there is another way. Look at us. If we can do it, it's possible. You have to believe. Believe in us, believe in yourself. This counts for the whole planet. These sources of inspiration to remind us. And I remember myself coming to Ikomi, which was the previous community we held for 8 years, from 2010 to 2018. Here we had a land near Jericho in the occupied territories. And we were holding even groups up to 100 people for 2 weeks, going through deep processes, holding each other through the horrors and the pain, the fears, the trauma, and then thinking how we can change the systems of oppression that oppress all of us, no matter which side we're on, and acknowledging the injustice and acknowledging it, but not turning towards each other and hating each other and fighting each other, but fighting the systems that we have created out of unconsciousness because we didn't know how to create better systems that can hold us all. So I myself was deeply transformed and myself, I understood it is possible. And since then, we're walking a path, May and me and many others, to show the world and to keep doing the inner work that it takes to stand strong together, hold each other's back through all these storms that come. We used to even have people from Gaza joining. Back then, it was still possible. So we're here to show the world there's another path. So everything we do is that. And our hunger strike is part of saying and bringing the urgency of the suffering of the people in Gaza to the world's attention and to the world's presence, to witness together, to look deeply into the darkness of the human creation that we have manifested, and to start taking back the pieces to ourselves, to start acknowledging our responsibility in the healing, our woundedness, our shared humanity, and seek ways to heal and to create a life for all beings here in the land that is with safety, with dignity, with justice. So we wish to see as an immediate calling for this hunger strike, a full ceasefire, a bringing home the hostages, and allowing aid, food, medical supplies to the Gazan people. It's there. There's no lack. We have it. It needs to reach the people. And for that, there needs to be a ceasefire. And then we will talk about building a different reality together. Not more disappropriation of land. Not more of the things we've been doing. And we really believe that there is no one to wait for. Our governments won't fix it. It's us, it's on us, it's on you, it's on me. We have to create the world we want, the change we want. It's so obvious in these times that we cannot wait for anyone. It's us we have been waiting for. So we invite you to join us on this movement, and everywhere where you can have impact in your sphere of power. Even if it's just leaving out one meal a day and putting your body in a place of solidarity, of what it means to not have a spiritual solidarity. Nothing has no impact. Everything has. So we strongly believe that coming together in community is one of the strongest antidotes to the increasing polarization and separation that's happening globally. So thank you for coming. Thank you for trusting. Thank you for your faith. Each of your heart, we deeply honor. I bow to each one of you for having the courage to show up. Let's make this a global movement. We're not the only ones. There's so many people out there. Let's connect, let's network, to share our powers, to empower each other. We believe this is the way. So thank you for your heart and all the people you're connected to that you have impact on. All the lives that you can touch. Each one of you is so important. Thank you. And I just want to celebrate that we have here someone, a friend, Felix, come from all the way from Germany to support us for 3 weeks. He raised money through making music, playing concerts, to come and finance being here and be with us. Mm-hmm. And he's joining now our hunger strike. He has also fasted before. We're on day 28. So many people have joined us for some period of time. It gives us great strength in the soul to know you're with us. So I want to invite you. Maybe you want to share a sentence or two on your experience.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, now I'm also fasting again with you because for me it's really much more easier to be here and to focus on what's important for me and to see that my path is our path, that I don't have to decide what I want to do because my my deepest wishes are also the deepest wish of Maya and David to have really peace in this land, in the world, and in us. So we deeply connect in this, and therefore, yeah, we go our ways, which are of course a bit different, but which every of these paths must someone has to go. So it's not random. It's in a it's aligned, but we don't see every time where is it aligned. And so we also go into this unknowing field of we do, and yeah, and we do with our faith in us and in this opportunity we have right now. So yeah, I'm deeply grateful to be here. I'm deeply grateful that you're still fastening. Also, you're fastening for me and for my desires. And so yeah, and I know how hard it is to fasten in Germany. Believe me, it's for me it was really hard. And I was like in two worlds in the same time, and it was really hard to join for me. And now I can see it's much more easier because I've got my a role model direct um, in my nearest fields. So yeah, I'm grateful for this. Thank you.
Thank you, Felix, for joining us, and it's so powerful. So it gives so much strength to be together in it. So I want to just invite you that if you do join this movement in any way, maybe some fasting, maybe some actions, whatever you do, you're welcome to. We will post again the map. Put yourself on the map so we can see how many people around the globe are somehow partaking in this and supporting this. So just makes it more visible. We'll also have a website that's being built right now where we can show how many we are who are in support of this movement, of the world we want to see, and what we want to build together. So we use these Zooms to bring voices that inspire us, to give us hope, to empower us, to inspire us to become more active, to come out of the freeze of the paralyzation in front of the horrors, and also to look deeply into the realities. We bring voices from Gaza, from the West Bank, of people that experience every day the oppression, the violence, so that we can together hold a little bit more of meeting those things without collapsing, without freezing. We strongly believe in the power of witnessing. And for those who are going through all this violence, that there is someone to witness them and to ask for help and to get help, even supporting financially people who seek aid in Gaza, even if it's just small, helping one family, but it's huge. It's huge. The impact is huge. And we really believe that we need to stand together today with those who are oppressed, because tomorrow they will stand with us. That's the way. So thank you again for being here. We'll now listen to Regina and to Malkah sharing about their journey, their work, their activism, their hearts. And we'll listen to them for about half an hour or 25 minutes, and we give space for some questions, maybe some resonances from you. And then we'll go to small groups that each one of you can also share about the impact in your life, in your heart, of this call, of the things you heard, or of just being in presence and witnessing the realities that you do, that are happening right now, here in the land and beyond. How it touches you in your life. So we want to give you a voice, and we want to give you an opportunity to be heard as well. So we really strongly invite you to join these small groups for 15 minutes. And then if you don't want, you're also welcome to just stay with us, because we will close together afterwards. We hear a few voices and then close with a prayer or song. So Thank you for being with us. And and inviting you, welcome you. Thank you for being with us, Regina, Malkah. And you were also with us the last days and the last weeks. So we're happy to have you also to have you give you the space to share your work with us.
Thank you. Thank you, dear. It's an honor.
Thank you, Mai, David, Felix, all of you, Satyam. Thank you, Malkah, Binah, for partnering with me on this Hungry for Compassion campaign. And what we hope to share today is amplifying what David has said and showing that there are so many doors to this solidarity, and that even though there are many activities going on all over and they overlap, they are connected. They are connected. So I'm going to share my screen. So just briefly, is that seen? Wonderful. So my name is Regina Sandler-Phillips. I identify as Rabbi Regina when it is beneficial. I have been stretching, struggling towards the aspirations that David has so eloquently described for about half a century, since I was a teenager. I lived in the land between the river and the sea for 5 years during a previous period of violence and war. And at that point, I was introduced to the principle that has become my primary vehicle, which is Darchei Shalom, ways of peace. This quote is from the Talmud that is known as the Jerusalem Talmud or the Palestinian Talmud. It's not the famous Talmud. And it says, when we live together with our differences, we organize ourselves and our money to sustain the poor and visit the sick and bury and honor the dead and console the bereaved, for these are ways of peace. Mipnei darchei shalom. So I come to this campaign from a remote vigil that was started after October 7th. Today is day 642 of that vigil. People holding space for an hour from their different homes to bear witness to what is going on and to strengthen ourselves for action. And I have also been creating and selling solidarity bracelets to raise money for humanitarian aid and protected presence. The colors bring together the warring parties, the mediating parties, the solidarity groups, and also selling and distributing handkerchiefs because we need to grieve. And when we have washable handkerchiefs, we can grieve more sustainably. I wanted to begin with this image, which has become very precious to me. This is called Mourning by Leti Waleska, who was a German Jewish refugee from the Nazis who settled in California. And I spend a lot of time looking at this picture because it says so much about mourning for me. There is so much that is clear and there is so much that is ambiguous. Each one with their own grief, each one looking to someone else. There is a tiny candle being held in the background. There may be a coffin there. These could be people from anywhere. The date of the painting is 1948, which is when the Khurban catastrophes of the Jewish people met the Khurban, the Nakba, the catastrophes of the Palestinian people. So this is a picture of that meeting as well. And I want to bring that together with some words from Lillian Smith. At this point, that's a news clipping, and it says she was a famous author then. She was. Today, very few people know her name. A great ally and activist of the civil rights movement, wrote a book called Strange Fruit, friend of many of the civil rights leaders. And at a point of great heartbreak and turmoil in the civil rights movement in the late 50s, she wrote, "I am not sure there is a better way to change things than for us to break our hearts and let the tears come. Perhaps only when our eyes are blinded with tears can we see the new vision. To break our hearts and let the tears come. Perhaps only when our eyes are blinded with tears can we see the new vision." So this is a day, as Malkah said, that we commemorate the breaching of walls. And here's a song that I cobbled together that I invite you to sing with me. Unfortunately, you will need to remain muted because Zoom. But I do invite you to sing. I will start with the melody. The melody comes from the Georgia Sea Islands, from communities of descendants of former African slaves. And the words are for us today. Let the tears come and see us through. Let the tears come and see us through. When the walls are breached, when our hearts break, let the tears come and see us through. Let the grief come and see us through. Let the grief come and see us through. When the walls are breached, when our hearts break, let the grief come and see us through. Let the healing come and see us through. Let the healing come and see us through. When the walls are breached, when our hearts break, let the healing come and see us through. Let the healing come and see us through. So today is a very old fast, thousands of years old. We have two words in Hebrew for fast. One is ta'anit. Ta'anit comes from the word for affliction. And the most famous fast that most people are familiar with in the Jewish calendar is Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement. And when we look back to the Torah text, we are actually not told to abstain from eating and drinking. We are told, Ve'initem et nafshotechem, afflict yourselves. From that, we understand that we are to fast. And nafshotechem, and nefesh is sometimes translated as soul, but nefesh is actually something very embodied. It's the life force. It's the life force. And it is the nature of the life force to consume and to be consumed. So when we fast, we are stepping into this embodied mystery of what it is to consume and to be consumed, and facing questions about how much do we consume. When we consume too much, we destroy ourselves and we destroy the earth. When we consume too little, our own selves, our embodied selves, can be endangered. And so we are holding that balance when we fast. And that brings us to suffering and to compassion. Compassion literally means with suffering. With suffering. That's what it means in the English, which is from the Latin. In our Semitic languages, the word for compassion comes from the word for the womb, the uterus. And it is a name for God. It is a name for God in both Arabic and in Hebrew. And so when we are fasting, hungry for compassion, we are putting ourselves voluntarily with suffering, with suffering. Roberta, was there something you needed to say now? Maybe not. So I will go on. I thought of this. David said something, shared something last week that I wrote down. And David, I hope I am doing this justice. I scribbled it down after you wrote, so I may be paraphrasing slightly. How can I eat my meal when an hour from here, people do not have food to eat, even though there is enough? And that is an echa question, right? That is a how question. How is much bigger than yes or no. And echa is the question of these 3 weeks. When we read the book of Lamentations, in Hebrew it is called echa, how. And it is related to the question that was asked earlier on in the Torah, when our first ancestors were told we're hiding from God. And God said, ayeka. It's a variation of the same question. How? Where are we? So I got to the Satyam fast through following other fasting efforts and wondering about the connections. The first one I became aware of was a 40-day fast that began on May 22nd. Veterans and Allies, Veterans for Peace, Nonviolence International, American Friends Service Committee, many groups joined together, especially Christian church groups. And there was a 40-day fast. Their fast was organized around the understanding that the average caloric intake in Gaza is or was 250 calories a day, and the fast was organized around that. There were escalations, there was civil disobedience, and that fast inspired a number of other fasts that started during the same time. So I was able to join the Fast for Freedom that was spearheaded by Combatants for Peace, which is how I first met Mike. It was a 1-day fast. Various groups came together. And afterwards, when I contacted Tiffany of American Friends of Combatants for Peace and said, we want to continue fasting. The 3 weeks are coming up. And Tiffany said, well, you should contact Mai, because Mai is continuing this fast with Satyam. And so I came to Satyam and began bearing witness here to the multiple points of entry, to supporting the main hunger strikers who have only water and vitamins, and are inviting people to join with their bodies and with their presence in any way we can. And I kept noticing, and I noticed that there were other strikes and fasts going on. Jewish Voice for Peace, JVP, has been sponsoring various strikes around the United States. There was a 18-day hunger fast in Chicago. The Detroit fast began on June 14th, and as it says here, is intended to continue until Gaza is fed. And they give very specific suggestions for how to join the fast on a rolling basis. Different people take different days. There can be the traditional fast, Yom Kippur or Ramadan. Yom Kippur is a dark sundown to darkness fast, 25 hours. Ramadan is like more like today's fast, which is a sun up to sundown, no food or water. Or a Gaza solidarity fast, eating between 250 to 1,400 calories per 24-hour period. That's the current UN estimate of caloric intake. JVP also suggests safety-based fasts, abstaining from safety, staying outdoors, exposed to the elements for periods of time, abstaining from normal hygiene routines. JVP is known for consumer boycotts, so BDS targets, related boycotts, and also suggesting lobbying and donations during the fast. And so that is ongoing. It does not contradict any other fast. It is joining the forces of compassion. Even though we align with different groups and we identify with different groups, there is this compassion that is impelling us to abstain in some way and to bear witness. And then I found out that for the past 400, I think it's 400, maybe 414 days now, there has been a rolling fast out of Ireland called Hunger for Justice. And each day, somebody else has been taking the fast for the past 414 days. Each one dedicates their fast to a face and a name, an individual killed in the ongoing violence. And on December 12th in 2024, apparently 1,600 people across Ireland participated in a 24-hour fast. And more than 203,000 euros have been raised for Gaza aid through this fast, with the average contribution being 44 euros, which I believe is the cost maybe of a dinner out or 2 dinners out. This is something that we read on Yom Kippur from the prophet Isaiah. Is not this the fast I would choose? Is it not to share your bread with the hungry and to bring afflicted outcasts home? The word for outcasts is sometimes translated as refugees. So this idea of sharing our bread with the hungry, it's not just that we are abstaining, it's that when we consume less, that there is more to share with others. And that has implications for something that we often don't like to talk about, but it's so important to talk about. And that is money. So one thing that we can do is calculate how much do I spend on food and beverage on a daily basis. You need to do this for a while before you can average it. I've been doing this for 25 years now. It's a very important spiritual practice for me. And every 6 months, I tally up how much I have spent on food and beverages, groceries, restaurants, food on the run. And I calculate 10% of that amount, and I send that to one or more food justice organizations. I've been doing that for a number of years. The last year and a half, I've been sending that food tithe, that consumer tithe, to the Gaza Soup Kitchen, which is one of the organizations that has been on the ground consistently since February of 2024. And I learned this from the Gaza Soup Kitchen. I learned this also from Fatma, from the Al Borej camp, who spoke with Satyam together with her brother Moeen, that people, when they can eat, are mostly eating lentils. So this was a post from a couple of days ago. Lentil, the unsung hero of Gaza. It stood by our people when the world turned its back. It never grew tired of us, even when we had nothing left. In Gaza, Most families eat lentils every single day, not by choice, but because there is nothing else. And when times grow harsher, they grind it down and turn it into something like bread. Lentils became bread. Bread became survival. It never abandoned us, not even once. May the world one day be as loyal as a bowl of lentils. So one of the ways that, and for some people, this may be a way of afflicting our life force, to really think about money. Really think about money as something that passes through our lives, as something that we have choices about, as something we have very strong feelings about, most of us, as something we carry family stories and often family wounds, sometimes not even being aware that we carry them, and being able to look at them in a gentle way, to be able to uncover them so that we can heal and we can use this money as medicine. This is a definition that I like. Money is something we choose to trade our life energy for. That's what it is. That's what it is. It's something we choose to trade our life energy for. And we have choices when we fast about that trade of life energy. We can send more. Every time on the Satyam Zooms, that there's been a little logistical flurry about, oh, how are we going to send money to Fatma? How are we going to send money to Dia? That is so sacred for me, because it is showing us translating our life force into something life-saving, something we can choose to do that can save lives and that is in our hands and that can fly across oceans and over blockades and get where it needs to go. So I want to round out with this and then give Malkah Binah a little more time to talk about this particular day of our fasting. Sometimes when I think it's never been this bad, I like to read the stories of those from times fast and think, yes, it's been this bad. And there are people who have been shining lights that have guided our way and have seen us through. So Fannie Lou Hamer was a food justice pioneer. I encourage you to learn more about her, more than I can say right now. And toward the end of her life, she talked about an initiative called Freedom Farms that she had started. And in closing, she said, I would like to tell you a story of an old man. This old man was very wise and he could answer questions that was almost impossible for people to answer. So some people went to him one day, two young people, and said, we're going to trick this guy today. We're going to catch a bird and we're going to carry it to this old man. And we're going to ask him, this that we hold in our hands today, is it alive or is it dead? If he says dead, we're going to turn it loose and let it fly. But if he says alive, we're going to crush it. So they walked up to this old man and they said, this that we hold in our hands today, is it alive or is it dead? He looked at the young people and he smiled and he said, it's in your hands. It's in our hands. Whether the bird is alive or dead, it's in our hands. Whether our money is alive or dead, it's in our hands. It's in our hands. And we can send it further. So before we go into breakout groups, and I do have some prompts, I want to turn it back to Malkah Binah for a few more reflections about this particular day as it relates to the 3 weeks that are going to bring us to Tisha B'Av. Thank you, Malkah Binah.
Mm. Well, what's arising for me is the image you shared of the hands with the bird. And I was raised proudly Jewish and also went to a Zionist summer camp for many years and lived in Israel as a first grader. And it was only when I lived in Jerusalem and to study Torah after college that I went on a dialogue group in the West Bank. And I want to tell this little story because it really lifts up how important it is, these encounters with each other. And there's a very one sentence that I heard, and it's about a bird that has really lived with me and changed my whole perspective. And I was there sitting with I was probably 21 at the time and sitting with a young man around my age, um, living under occupation in the West Bank. And he said to me, I want to be free like a bird. And I think that sums up it all. And it's, as somebody who had never thought about that I wasn't free like that. And I've just been unpacking it ever since and thinking about the prayer that I started us with, Anenu, answer us, God. That's really my prayer, that each human being and each person in Gaza and in the West Bank and beyond, and I mean, we're here in the United States where just terrible things are starting to happen, that it's really that prayer for each human being to be free like a bird, and for the birds to be free like birds too. And the phrase that came to me as I was preparing this morning is, we're doing the work of rehumanizing. And I just want to share one more thing because I want to give us the breakout rooms are so precious. Give us time for that. I started a practice of wearing sackcloth. The Bible speaks about this ancient practice at times of mourning and at times of needing to do repair work and face our sins, that people would put on sackcloth and ashes. And so it's something that I went to the coffee shop and asked them for some coffee sacks. They were happy to give me some, and cut it up and put a safety pin. And it's something that you might consider wearing as a way to start conversation, and just to remember that it's not business as usual. And I shared about this with my friend, a new friend, Shauna, back in July 2023. She's an artist. And I received a package in the mail on October the 6th, 2023, where she had taken burlap from her sukkah, and she had made it into a tallis, a prayer shawl for me out of sackcloth, my sackcloth tallis, which I have worn to many protests and I hold dear. And it was a surprise in the mail, October 6th, 2023. I opened it up and then our world transformed. And this has been my companion through these times of, and that the like reconnecting creatively to ancient ritual has been a very important part of what keeps me going. So I will turn it back to May to Satyam folks to bring us to the breakout rooms.
I'd actually like to say one thing before the breakout rooms. Two things actually. Number one, there was a little bit in the chat. I want to encourage folks. Different groups have different languages, they have different strategies, they have different ways of coming to this very painful conflict. And I share the various possibilities, not because I'm pro this or anti that, but because I want us to be able to see what different people are doing. And I plead, please take what you like and leave the rest. Look at what we can learn from the various groups And if there's language or if there are particular strategies or decisions that you don't relate to, just leave them aside. Let's amplify the consensus, right? We may not agree on the words, but let's just agree on what is horrible and needs to stop. And let's agree on the love and compassion that we need to expand to get us there. So now I will turn it over to the Satyam folks, and I have some prompts which I can put in the chat.
Thank you. Thank you, Regina and Malkah. It felt like a prayer, a real reminder again and again of who we are and what it meant to hold our humanity, even through our faith. It's to truly honor each other and see each other and take it as something to empower oneself and our humanity. Your compassion is, we continuously talk about compassion here, how important it is to be with this compassion to everybody, whilst we are trying, again, as David said, to show that there is another way. There is another way. It is here. And now we will give you the space. We invite you to bring yourselves. What's alive in you? What touched you maybe, or what brought you, or what's something that wished to be heard and received. And we invite you to listen and to receive the other and to hold the space for each other and to wonder, out of all of this, how do we continue? How do we also take responsibility? So this time will be for you. We invite you to connect, to hold the space, and we will send you a reminder 2 minutes before we will call you back, just for you to close it up. We know it's not enough time. And then, as David said, we would love to hear a few of your voices. And again, close the space with the prayers, blessings, and honoring to all of you, to everyone here. So yeah, now you will receive a message to go to the group, and we will see you soon. Thank you.
Welcome back, everyone. So we'll take some time now to hear some of the voices from you, of the impact of the conversation we've been having today, and also maybe something that came up in your groups that felt meaningful to also bring to the bigger group. And in the meantime, Felix will paste into the chat also again all of our groups, the ways that you can be in touch with us, support us. And again, just because for those who might leave a little bit earlier, we really encourage you to invite people, invite a few friends, invite family to our Zooms, to our groups, to put yourself on the map, and to also think for yourself, how can you contribute in the means, with the means that you have. Maybe you have money to give, so you can donate to Satyam. We will hold now a Palestinian woman grief circle next week. So many people here don't have money, and we're funding them. And through donating, for example, one just covering the cost of one person to participate is 250 shekel, which is about 60 euro for 1.5 days. So if you have money, you can give to us and support our work. And also, we will soon have a website where we have trusted partners in Gaza that we're supporting. We're building a program for the day after to offer trauma healing and support also in Gaza. Right now, we're supporting with food and medicine through the connections we have that we trust. And so you can also just donate money to Satyam and say, please for food in Gaza, please for medicine in Gaza, or please for trauma healing project. So we know what we will use the money for, or for grief circles here. So that's one thing. And other things are maybe you know people that you can connect us with that have outreach, that have power. And we're also looking to strengthen our networks and people that could come and share their work on this platform to support them, to have a voice and be heard, and be supported. So yeah, we just really invite you to think how you can bring your heart and your action to align with this movement that we're creating. You are part of it. That you're here means you're part of it, and all your ideas and your wisdom can flow into it. So just write us with your ideas and thoughts. So thank you, and let us hear a few voices.
Can I say one thing about that, David?
Yes, please.
So I put a link for our Hungry for Compassion link to donations in the website. And one of the reasons that I did that is because Satyam right now is primarily set up to receive donations in euros. And I am very interested in getting as much money to the places I donate as possible. And through my website, we're able to get tax deductible donations in USD. And I use tax deductions as a form of legal war tax resistance, because the more that we are able to deduct from the taxes, the less we are spending for bombs. So anybody
So
can.
yes, please write us. We have a way to donate from the US, and also through the PayPal link that we shared, that Felix shared. You can donate via debit card and credit card as well. And there's just the euro because our organization is in Switzerland, but you can donate in any currency. It doesn't matter. And if you donate through PayPal, especially amounts that are, I think, up to a certain amount, 300 euro, you don't even need a receipt. You can just write it and it will be accepted as a donation in your tax report. So if you have questions about it, just write us, and you can also easily find in your country the regulations about that.
And also there is a question.
Yes, I will answer it. So if you donate through these means, you will not be published at all. It is completely private. Your name will not appear anywhere, unless you wish. But even through our fundraising campaign, we had even all the options that your name is public or it's private. So yes, but if you donate through this link that just came, no one will know except us and our accountant. So yeah, thank you for the question. Okay, so yes, opening the space for 2-3 voices.
And maybe also a voice to close with a prayer or a song afterwards before we finish.
Gil.
That would be.
Hi, I was very honored to be in the private room and got to hear what I needed. Maybe not all of you know, but we had an open weekend in Satyam this weekend, which I was very privileged to be a part of. And we had an amazing sharing circle where we all to share some of our private stories. And right now in the private room, Malkah spoke of a new project she's founding called Merkava, which is the name of the Israeli brand tank, which I unfortunately was involved with. And in Satyam Center, there is the Ramdas cards that you can open and find quotes from Ramdas, which is a brilliant person. And the card that I saw that really resonated with me before we entered the sharing circle is that if you listen well, everyone is your guru. I was very privileged to listen to Bushra, who is a Satyam accountant, which David just mentioned. And when she spoke, I think I heard when she spoke of her faith and her conviction, I felt I was hearing the voice of who I hope is my goal. I just read an article earlier today by Holland, a Dutch historian, Rutger Bergman, and he talks about effective means of creating a change. Like our mini discussion here, is BDS good? Is BDS not good? Are demonstrations good or not good? So I feel what we are doing here in Satyam, all of us who are taking part of this, all of you who are coming to this Zoom, who are talking about fasting, who are talking about tax reduction, everything we can do, as long as we support each other, as long as we do it continuously, as long as we focus on hope for the day after, that is what he's found is in his research that really creates the change. He's an historian. He brings many examples of social movement changes from the past that did work. And I thank you. I thank everyone who is here, everyone who helps with this movement. I believe this is the way.
What is the name of the person, the Dutch person, and the book?
Maybe you can write it in the chat for us. Thank you.
Thank
Let's-
you, Gail, and also thank you for organizing all of the weekend, all of the support from afar, the physical, being here continuously. My dear,
Big
it's an honor to have you, and it's an honor to walk with you this journey. Thank you, love. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. And let's hear another voice. Is there anyone who wishes to bring your heart?
I just want to say that in our group, I've met with the two people before. So I think what we're creating here is we're so like-minded, all of us, and not just like-minded with our souls, and we get to know each other better through these breakout rooms. And it's becoming more communicative back and forth. And I think that's so important as part of what we're building here. The fact that we're getting to know each other. And, here I am in the States and one person, actually in another place in the States, and then, another place, and we're coming together. And those connections are just get strengthened.
Yes.
And it's so important so that we're not alone.
Yes. Yes, you are not alone. We are not alone. And I see Regina, Habibti, yes, we call you again. No, there is Phyllis and then Regina. Yes, dear, welcome.
I just wanted to say this is my first time here, and I was very late because I have a Plum Village sangha on Sunday mornings. I'm in Virginia, in the U.S. And I've had mono Epstein-Barr virus for over a year, so I'm tired and home a lot. And I've spent, sometimes I'm in as many as 9 meetings a week. I might have hit 10 once. So several of them are Plum Village related around the Middle East, at least a few. Some are just straightforward Plum Village. I've been doing the nonviolent communication one on Wednesdays with Roberta and Palestinians and Israelis. It's been powerful, and I'm just so moved by how many peacemakers there are on the ground and around the world. I mean, it's so amazing to connect with people through this amazing medium and support and listen and be a part of this global peacemaking movement. And I've sort of said from day one, support the peacemakers. I'm so in awe and so grateful. And if I had the energy, I would be there doing, something with my body on the ground. But I hope that day will come soon. So thank you for what you all are doing. Philip.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
It's an honor to have you, and may you feel well and healthy very soon. Very soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you and welcome whenever you are ready to come. You're welcome here. We have this beautiful, beautiful space to host, to be together. So we're so grateful for each soul who dares to come and be here. And it's very powerful to be here, actually. It's very healing. And yes, so we would like to give it to Regina to close for us the time together.
Thank you so much. So grateful. Just as Malkah Binah put in the chat, commemoration for this Wednesday. This is a time when there are so many commemorations that reverberate together. When I leave this Zoom, I will be going to lead a memorial walk at the sites of two of the sites of the racial lynchings during the Civil War in New York City that very few people talk about. It was 162 years ago today. So there is so much that is reverberating and so much to take in, and to be able to remember, to breathe through it, to be aware, to have support for taking in the enormity of it, and also to be expanding our love and compassion and solidarity is so important day by day. So with great gratitude to Satyam and to all of you for here. And again, please be in touch, share the vigil at gmail.com as we talk more about how our campaign is dovetailing with all of these other efforts. And ending, as we sang earlier, let the tears come and see us through. Let the tears come and see us through. When the walls are breached, when our hearts break, let the tears come and see us through. Let the grief come and see us through. Let the grief come and see us through. When the walls are breached, when our hearts break, let the grief come and see us through. Let the healing come and see us through. Let the healing come and see us through. When the walls are breached, when our hearts break, let the healing come and see us through. Let the healing come and see us through.
Thank you so much. Thank you all. Thank you, Regina. Thank you, Malkah. And thank you all. Thank you for blessing us with your voice and your heart and your light. And thank you all, Samah and whoever's joining there.
Yes. Yes, everyone.
Laya, Steven, Ulrike, Ruth, Judith, Hadassah, Lotte, Mair, Jan, Valentina, John,
Alexander,
Neisa.
Lotte. Mm.
So good.
Yes, all of you. John, dear.
Hadassah.
Judith.
Mm.
All of you, all of you. We have someone that now came.
No, I think he just came back.
Ah, Phyllis. Okay. My dears, thank you. You're welcome to open the mics if you wish to say goodbye before we close. And again, thank you so much. And tomorrow we will be with Noah Yamer, a beautiful, amazing voice, Jewish American, a hard conversation of narrative and settlers and settlements and truth
Yeah.
and healing songs. And the days after we meet David and Felix, we will be with you from Jenin, Tulkarem, and Nablus. We will go there, we will be with the people there, and we will host the Zooms from there as well. So we invite you to continue this journey, to continue this walk, to have, again, as David said, faith in all of us that this is possible. People are waiting for us to go. People are longing for us to gather and to name them and to heal together and be free together. And we're taking all of you with us, and may we expand to hundreds of thousands. Where history will mention we have made a change. We have honored each other. We have healed. We had freed people, and it brought back not only food, but honor, really freedom and justice. So
Sure.
again, thank you. It's an honor to have all of you, and we will see you tomorrow.